I'll say that change in itself goes beyond all those. As good as those are, change goes beyond the economies, fighting corruption and insecurity. The fact that Nigerians themselves believe in government more than they have ever done is change. It's change. Nigerians used to be so cynical about government, but you find that today a large percentage of Nigerians are passionate about this government and about what it can do for them. That, for me, is change in a way. And then the fact that there is a realization that corruption is indeed evil, and that stealing is corruption, is change. Because there was a time in this country that somebody told Nigerians that stealing was not corruption, but now they know that stealing is corruption. That is change. There are so many other areas in which Nigerians are experiencing change. And then the three cardinal ones: secure the country. Of course, there is a lot that has been done. As at May 2015, Nigeria was almost overrun. The insurgency that started in the northeast, particularly in Borno State, had spread into all the states in the northeast. It had gone into the northwest. It had come into north central and was in the federal capital. As at May 2015, you didn't know what lay ahead of Nigeria. But we see how that insurgency was beaten back till it became technically defeated. You still have the rump of it there, but it's a job that will be fully done.
Well, I don't know who you've been talking to, Femi, because we've been out on the streets sampling the opinions of Nigerians, talking to what they feel, and the voters who voted for Mr. Buhari in 2015 did so almost wholly on the basis that he was going to make fundamental changes and corrections to Nigeria that would lead to, in the short term, greater prosperity, less dysfunctionality, something that would in turn galvanize the support of those who didn't vote for him. I mean, I wonder whether in practical terms and in the short term, you might tell us how he's managed to do that.
Well, the kind of change that Nigerians envisaged in certain areas will not come in the short term.
So in other words, you haven't made any change
No.
that they've felt in the area of the economy, for example.
I mentioned some
Right.
which are immediate.
Right.
But there are some which will not come in the short term, which will be gradual and progressive. You can't say there has not been change in the economy if in the past 16 months, inflation rate has dropped consistently. 16 months.
Well, I'll give that to you. Inflation has dropped, but let's look critically at the figures for the economy. In 2015, unemployment stood at 10.4% by the end of the fourth quarter. By the last quarter of 2017, it stood at a staggering 18.2%. That's under your watch.
After 1 year of recession.
What can you say
don't forget that.
in defense of such an alarming increase in unemployment, which directly contravenes the promise the president made during his campaign?
No, you cannot rule out the fact that the economy went into recession, and it was there for a full year. So if you are quoting those figures as at December 2017, don't also forget that the economy exited recession about August.
Yes, but the fact remains that the country went into recession under your watch.
The economy slowed down.
It slowed down, but you did nothing to stimulate. It's an economic principle that when you have a recession, you spend more to stimulate the economy. You didn't spend more. There was no plan to arrest the recession. And what got you out of recession was simply things that you couldn't control, that the price of oil went up again and you came out of recession.
No. What was oil selling for when we came out of recession? It was about $40–50 per barrel.
But there was a steadying of the price, which increased confidence in the market.
If there is a steadying of the price and there's no transparency, no accountability, it means nothing.